My girlfriend posted a story. Love 50, choose 10, marry 1. You should love many people to find the right one. I commented right below. Wish you the best in hitting your KPI. Then I sent her a link. Just a few minutes later, the story disappeared without a trace. I ended a 1-year relationship with a single comment and a spreadsheet. She posted a story that said, Love 50, choose 10, marry 1. You have to date many people to find the right one. I commented right under it. Good luck hitting your KPI. Then I sent her a link, a PDF, I made called Refund Proposal for Project Love 50. 5 minutes later, her story disappeared. Fastest reaction I've ever seen from her. That year with Mia felt normal, even good for the most part. We met at a friend's birthday dinner, not long after she graduated. She had just landed her first job at a lifestyle magazine, and I remember being struck by her energy, her endless ideas, and that effortless charm that people in media seem to carry. I felt a mix of admiration and nervous excitement. I was 30, working as an architect, living comfortably, and honestly thought I was ready for something serious. She was 25, just starting out, still figuring life out. I didn't mind. I liked the idea of supporting her, helping her grow. At first it was easy. She'd show up at my place after work, talking non-stop about deadlines, photo shoots, and office gossip. We'd order takeout, watch Netflix, and she'd scroll on her phone between episodes. I didn't think much of it. Everyone scrolls. But with her, the phone was almost an extra limb. If she wasn't posting, she was checking who viewed her posts. The relationship started feeling like a highlight reel. Every coffee date had to be aesthetic. Every weekend trip Instagram-worthy. I didn't complain, she looked happy, and I thought that was enough. Money was never the issue for me. I make a good living, and when I'm with someone, I want to give them nice things. That year I spent roughly $8,300 on gifts, trips, and monthly dates, not because she asked, but because I believed in what we were building. I didn't see it as buying affection. I saw it as an investment in a future I believed in, but small things started to bother me. She was obsessed with attention. How many likes, who followed her, which co-worker got invited to which event. Her conversations started to sound like PR pitches, even when it was just the two of us. There were small red flags I ignored, a researched Tinder account that seemed unnecessary, mysterious girls' nights that never appeared in photos, and late-night work dinners that didn't quite add up. Each time a nagging doubt surfaced, but I pushed it aside, telling myself I was just overthinking. Looking back, I realized I was trying to convince myself that being understanding made me mature. It didn't. It just made me blind. Every time she posted another filtered photo with some vague self-love quote, I felt a bit more distant. But I kept quiet because I didn't want to start fights over social media. I thought the important stuff, time together, care, trust, mattered more. It wasn't until one Saturday night that I realized the truth. I wasn't her partner. I was just another prop in her story, someone who looked good in the background while she built an image of a perfect, independent, modern woman. By then, I had already given her more than money. I'd given her the benefit of the doubt over and over again, and that, in hindsight, was the most expensive thing I ever paid for. Top of form, bottom of form, I just stared at my phone, trying to process what I was looking at. Mia's face filled the screen, same pose I'd seen 100 times, chin tilted slightly, lips parted just enough to look natural, a glass of wine in her hand. The caption sat right under it like a punchline. Love 50, choose 10. Marry 1. You have to date many people to find the right one. It wasn't the words themselves that struck me, but the tone. That smug, half-inspirational vibe influencers wear when they're really just flexing. 400 people had already viewed it. A few of her co-workers had reacted with flame emojis. Someone commented, so true, what part? The part where you treat people like a data sample. I must have been staring at the screen too long because my phone buzzed again. It was Dan, my best friend since college. Dude, you saw the rest? I scrolled down, but the story ended there. Then Dan sent me a screenshot. It was a Tinder profile. And yeah, it was Mia. Fresh photo, definitely recent. Same top she wore last week when she said she was too tired to go out. Bio said, looking for someone honest and adventurous, ready for new beginnings. I read it twice just to make sure my brain wasn't adding things that weren't there. Then Dan sent another message. Bro. My coworker saw her last Thursday. Said she was out at Café Azure with some dude. Attached was a photo, grainy but clear enough. Mia laughing, leaning into a guy's shoulder, his hand on her thigh under the table. That same night, she texted me at 8 p.m. saying, "Still at the office with my boss, might be a long night." Her female boss. It clicked in the most humiliating way. This wasn't a one-time oops or some dumb online quote. She was living her Love 50 philosophy for real. And I, apparently, was just one of the 50. For about 5 minutes, I just sat there, blank. I wasn't even angry yet. Just quiet. All the small red flags I'd brushed off lined up in my head like a timeline. The research Tinder account, the mystery girls' nights, the private work dinners, the sudden interest in dating psychology podcasts. It all made sense now. She wasn't studying dating behavior. She was running field tests. I texted Dan, "Don't tell anyone about this yet." He replied instantly, "Of course not." "But bro, she's bold posting that story while she's still with you." Bold wasn't the word. Arrogant, maybe. Careless, definitely. I opened her story again, half expecting it to have disappeared by now, but it was still there with more views and another few reactions from guys. My hands were shaking, not from rage, more like disbelief. I could have confronted her right there. I could have called, asked, demanded some pathetic explanation. But deep down, I already knew how that would go. She'd laugh, say it was just a quote, claim the Tinder was for research, maybe even gaslight me for overreacting. I'd seen her pull that routine on others, so I didn't call. I didn't text. I kept staring at her story, like someone replaying a car crash, not from fascination, but from disbelief that it was actually happening. The worst part? For a moment, there was no anger, only the heavy sinking of realizing how foolish I'd been. I'd spent a year trying to be the stable guy, the one who plans trips, fixes things, pays without making it a big deal. And she'd spent that same year collecting content and comparing me to other men she hadn't even met yet. At some point, I put my phone down and went for a walk. It was past midnight, quiet, cold. I didn't even take a jacket. I just needed to move. Every step felt heavier, each thought circling back to the same truth. She was never truly in this with me. To her, the relationship wasn't a partnership. It was a campaign, a marketing funnel with Love 50 as the strategy and me as the pilot project. When I got back home, I sat at my desk staring at the screen again. Her story was still up. And that's when it hit me. If she was going to treat love like a project goal, I'd end it like one too, and I already knew exactly how I'd deliver them. I didn't yell. I didn't text. I didn't even call. The anger didn't explode. It froze, quiet and sharp, almost professional. If she wanted to treat love like a project, I'd end it like a project manager. So I opened my laptop, pulled up Google Sheets, and typed the title at the top. Termination Notice as Love 50 Campaign. I started filling it out like a report. Then I wrote the intro. Dear Ms. Mia, based on your public declaration of the Love 50 campaign and evidence of its active implementation, I acknowledge that I was one of your early phase participants. To ensure fairness and transparency, please find the refund request below. Next, I added a refund calculation section, KPI style, just like her quote. Total investment $8,300. Campaign target 50 participants. Cost per participant $8,300, 50 while $160. As I withdraw from the campaign, I request a refund of my share, $166, and the remaining $8,134 can be reallocated to support your 49 ongoing candidates. Then I added a support materials section. Link 1, potential candidate, the photo Dan sent of her and that new guy. Link 2, top 5 dating apps to maximize KPI results. I even wrote a closing line. For transparency, this document has been archived and shared publicly. Please process this termination at your earliest convenience. I exported it as a PDF, refund proposal, Project Love 50.pdf, uploaded it to Google Drive, copied the link. Then I went back to Instagram. Her story was still up. Same photo, same caption, Love 50, choose 10, marry 1. So I commented right under it. Wishing you luck with your KPI. Mia, here's the refund proposal, and I attached the link. 2 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Dan texted, Bro, tell me you didn't just post that. I sent him a screenshot. I did. He replied with 3 laughing emojis and said, You're insane. Maybe, but I felt fine, calm, for the first time in months. It was like all the noise, the doubt, the guessing, the fake smiles just stopped. I leaned back and watched as her story views kept climbing. Mutual friends, co-workers, people from her office, they were all seeing it. Her comment section, dead quiet. Then I saw it, the tiny line under my comment, seen by Mia. A few seconds later, the stories started disappearing. First the quote, then the selfie, then her entire highlight section vanished. Gone. I closed my laptop and exhaled. That's how it ended. Not with a fight, not with shouting, not even with closure. Just a clean document, a link, and silence. And honestly, that silence was worth every dollar. Within 5 minutes, the story disappeared. My phone started lighting up. 15 missed calls, 5 voice messages, all from her. Same number that used to send me goodnight texts now sounded like panic. I played the first one. Alex, please, it was a joke. It's just a quote. I'm not seeing anyone, I swear. The second one was quieter. Can we talk? Please, just 5 minutes. You're overreacting. By the third, she was crying. The fourth turned angry. The fifth was silent, just her breathing. I didn't reply. I opened messages, typed one last text and read it twice before sending. The joke cost me $8,300, keep it. Call it tuition for learning how to spot red flags earlier. Good luck with your 49 remaining prospects. Then I hit send, blocked her on everything, and tossed my phone on the couch. It buzzed a few more times, but I didn't check. I just sat there, watching the city lights flicker through my window, realizing how quiet my apartment had become. No FaceTime calls, no background laughter, no phone camera flashing at dinner, just quiet. The next day, Dan came over with coffee. You really nuked her whole PR image, man. I shrugged. She nuked the relationship first. He laughed, but then said something that stuck. You know, she's not even mad about losing you. She's mad you made her look unprofessional. That sounded exactly like Mia. Word spread quickly among mutual friends and colleagues, though I didn't confirm anything myself. Mutual friends texted, asking if the story was real. I didn't confirm, didn't deny. Just said, we're done. Word spread on its own. Apparently her boss saw the whole refund document before she deleted it. Too much drama, someone said. She got pulled from a few client projects after that. I didn't enjoy it. Not exactly. But I wasn't guilty either. You don't feel guilty for turning off a fire alarm after it's been screaming for a year. You just breathe. 2 weeks later, she emailed me with the subject line, closure. The message was brief, lowercase, and desperate. I didn't mean to hurt you. Can we at least talk once? I miss what we had. I stared at it for a while, then archived it without replying. Some things don't need closure. Some just need distance. Funny thing is, I never cared about the money. What hurt wasn't the $8,300. It was realizing how transactional she made everything feel. Every moment, every photo, every gesture had a purpose. To look perfect for strangers online. I was just part of the content strategy. So I stopped posting, stopped checking, stopped explaining. I went back to work, finished a new project proposal, started running again. Life found a quiet rhythm. Not thrilling, not loud, simply steady. And it felt unexpectedly good. A month later, Dan sent me a screenshot. Mia had made her account private and changed her bio to a single line. Learning to love offline. I didn't laugh. I just nodded and moved on. Looking back, I don't regret anything. Because the truth is, I didn't lose her. I just stopped renting someone who was never really mine. And if I ever do fall in love again, it won't be with someone counting likes or tracking KPIs. It'll be with someone who thinks investment means showing up, not showing off. That's the real return on love. A year later, life feels quieter, and that's exactly what I wanted. No constant notifications, no mental calculations of what I've spent or what I'll get back. I've stopped performing generosity for people who treat love like a contest. I met Claire a few months after everything blew up. She's not flashy, not Instagram perfect. She's real. The kind of woman who asks how your day was and actually listens. We split bills, argue over pasta sauce and burn dinner often. But we laugh, and somehow that feels more luxurious than any 5-star resort I ever paid for. She doesn't post us online, and I don't either. Our relationship isn't a campaign. It's a quiet project we both invest in daily. Time, effort, honesty. Dan still jokes about Love 50 sometimes. He says I should trademark it and sell it as a dating self-help brand. We laugh, but every now and then he updates me about Mia. Apparently, after the fiasco, she tried to rebrand herself. New account, new captions about growth and empowerment. It didn't stick. People remembered. Every time she posted a quote about love, someone commented, "How's KPI 49 going?" The meme lived longer than her reputation. And that guy from the cafe? Married, with 2 kids. Turns out Mia was just another side story in his collection of adventures. Eventually, she deleted her Instagram altogether. I don't hate her. I don't wish her pain. Honestly, I hope she learned something. The same way I did. Sometimes, late at night when I open my laptop for work, that old file still sits in my Google Drive. Refund proposal, Project Love 50. I never deleted it. Not out of spite, more like a reminder. That spreadsheet taught me something no breakup advice ever could. You don't always need revenge. You just need receipts. And when I look at Claire laughing across the table, her hair a mess, our pasta overcooked again, I realize that's the real return on investment.